Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. And don't forget, when I do these Divine Masculine reads, it's about the Divine Masculine within the Feminine as well. Okay, so this applies to both of you, just mainly for the Divine Masculine, okay? It is May 15th, 2019. 15 is all about that devil energy, that shadow side. And remember, it's just all about the everyday love and our challenges. The day adds up to 32-5, which is that Six of Wands. It's a 5 of change and freedom, but it's also an expansion, but it's also that Six of Wands of the journeyman, okay? So this journey. So what are the shadow aspects of going on the journey, of being in attention, of taking the lead, of receiving good news, of being challenged by those things? What is the light and the shadow aspect of each? The read today was done at 10:10, which is a turn for the better, and the number 9 and the Hermit were coming up as very significant today. The only major arcana that came up for this read today was all about the star, so there definitely could be some issues surrounding an Aquarius. Before I started the read, I went into my inner child to see what was going on, and although I did not visualize her, I right away was starting to sway back and forth and getting Rockabye Baby on the treetop. And this is right after I came in, actually, from taking some pictures of the treetops, which was kind of cool. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. So there's some definite safety issues in that message. Feeling the love of a mother's voice, rocking you and cradling you, but that being taken away from you for a lot of us who may not have had that nurturing when we were a child. And definitely brings up some root issues, safety and security issues. And definitely around the feminine not feeling safe. I know specifically for myself that was true because my mother was having issues when I was a small child. From 1 to 2 was like probably the worst time of her life, and so there was no safety and security net there for me. And of course my father was working a lot, so I have no idea what safety or security I really did feel at that age. As we start the read at 10:10, like I said, the only major arcana was the star. There were 3 swords, 3 pentacles, 3 cups, and 1 wand. The court cards were the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the card after the read was the Knight of Wands. So a Queen, a King, 2 Knights, and actually the card that came up before the start of the read, which I also use in the read, is the Page of Wands. So a Queen, a King, 2 Knights, and a Page, okay? The numbers that came up and the code and the message around that was all about compassion and having compassion for everyone, whether it's someone that you resonate with or not, still being able to feel compassion for where they may have come from, their wounds. And the numbers here were about the number 10, that high vibration of the trill, 1010, but also the Wheel of Fortune, the destiny, the good fortune. Numbers 4, 6, and 1 came up, as well as 7. And 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, 77 of the 9 of Pentacles, 67 of the Knight of Pentacles. So a lot of Pentacles energy there as far as characters, because they definitely could be kids and a mother. And then 46 of the 6 of Cups of the children, and 14 of the Temperance card of having patience and balance. And the 1 and 10 are there too, with the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. So there's great magic here to be had. But remember, with the 46, and we also have the 6 and the 4, which is the reflection of that. So 64 is the 10 of Swords, which is ending that pain. So the 6 of Cups on the one side, the reflection of that is pain and betrayal. So this is the Wheel, the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, and the Temperance card of the Angels, but also very much about patience. Those are the hardest parts of the journey, is the patience and the faith, which is the surrender. It was all about compassion and the student of the feminine. the Sophia 9, because remember, we're really working on rebalancing the feminine and bringing more feminine into the masculine energies, because the feminine has been so long kept down by the masculine, and now in the last century it was all about the feminine coming more into a masculine with single mothers and just going out into the workforce, and now it's time to rebalance with the masculine coming more into their feminine balance. So all about the students of Sophia 9, or the collective consciousness for the divine feminine, of the hermit or the queen, the higher consciousness, grounding and integrating and mastering the feminine, the wounded warrior, I, divine feminine of transmutation, who knows how to be compassionate. So it's about the masculine being the student of this divine feminine to learn more compassion. Also, court was coming up within the coding, and just the acronym CT was coming up, and chaos theory came up there, and the chaos theory is along the lines of the butterfly effect, where, you know, just a butterfly right at the right moment has a ripple effect around the world. You know, it can cause a tidal wave or a hurricane or tornado, whatever it is. But chaos, being the science of surprises, was one of the headings. Non-linear and unpredictable, to expect the unexpected, like turbulence, weather, stock market, and brain states. Fractal mathematics, where fractal is never-ending patterns. Infinite complexity of your natural surroundings, nature. So very important that that all came up, as well as I just pulled up some coding online real quick, and Seeker Heart came up from fanfiction.net, and it was just an author of 53 stories for the games that are online. But also the King of Cups came up in the King of Swords, and the Syrian Starseed deck, which I use for the main deck in my read. The Chalice of Antioch, which was thought to be like the Holy Grail. Also Sage and Chalice, being a secret Yale society, as well as Skull and Bones. Not so secret if it's online. So secret's definitely coming out. 6 ABC Action News came up, which is actually a Philadelphia station, WPVI Philadelphia. And there was just a news about a mom who was wasted strolling her infant child across a street without looking, and just in the middle of the traffic, and that actually a bunch of men actually came to the rescue and took care of her and the child to make sure everybody was taken care of safely. So that Chalice of Antioch, there's another word for it too. Antiochio. But it was found in Syria in 1910 and thought at one time to be the Holy Grail. There's pictures of Christ on the chalice, as well as 10 other men. I think Christ is on there twice. And they initially thought that it was the apostles, but it's, from what it sounds like more recently, it's 10 philosophers who foretold the coming of Christ, and the 5 cities that led early Christian churches. So Antioch, Rome, Constantinople, Jerusalem. I cannot talk today. There's some energy that came in right before I was talking to someone, and I'm just kind of wondering what that's all about. But Alexandria was the 5th one. CR came up, that coding also, as well as CT and C receptor. So if anyone's familiar with C receptor proteins, endothelial protein C receptor, EPCR, the PROCR gene, or CD201, cluster of differentiation 201. Oh, it might be the person I was just speaking to had a bit of a stutter, so I may be taking that on since I'm empathic, although I did clear. The FC receptor, as well as C-type lectin receptors came up. So if any of you work in those lines, if you have any connections to those, please say so in the comments. The immune system came up as well. And also the optical frequency comb technology, OFCT. There's a code there from receptors of S, lowercase I, 3, capital N, 4, micro resonator, 88 gigahertz. So there's the 88 of Lionsgate again. And this comb technology was trademarked, or registered at least, that's figure 9, patented laser technology. So if anyone knows about that, that definitely came up. Alright, so I'm going to show you something too. My daughter had done a project with a photographer and were asked to write a letter to their younger self. And I'm going to post her letter with a picture that was taken of her, because it was just perfect for this journey, right? Let's see if I have the picture here. So I'm going to put the, I do have her permission to do this, but this is her, I'm going to put her letter up here. I will post it in a place where you can actually read it, but yeah, it's not coming up very well here, but I'll get it up there for you. I did want to show you this one picture of her. There's a message on her hood that's pretty cool. And again, I don't know if you see, I'll probably post this as a tag, so. Alright, so check that out. Alright, and I might bring up some more of what she wrote in my Oracle cards part. But I want to get into this read. As I turned the page, it was 11:17, and it was just 12:17 here. So 17 is the star, and that's the only major arcana that came up for this read. And like I said, there may be issues revolving around an Aquarius. So as we start this read, we start out with the Six of Orbs and the Seeker of Flames. Okay, so that was the energy starting out, but he was kind of hidden there, right? Peace, question of peace, of the Page of Wands coming out from behind the mask. Strong, courageous, after conflicted or possibly fighting about a third party or gossip or overindulgences, or a Leo is not fighting anymore, a third party making peace with it, or not, a hermit out, a doctor is in, Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords with a strong support from family, or a wealthy family, or just a large family, right? The extended family or legacy. Or the Queen of Pentacles talks about the ultimate family life. Rolling out the red carpet on brick and green and pink materials, fabric that are natural and grounded and or parent in a home or a facility. Talking about testing the waters, dipping your toe in to test, but there's no water there, only a riverbed, dirt, dry, brown, dead. Needing new seed and lots of watering to mend. The Divine Masculine making peace with family, especially the females, possibly sisters who do all the work and caring for their parents. While the Divine Masculine works to avoid it, or they're a workaholic, hiding openly as the Hermit. So isolating, but isolating at work. The Knight of Cups is out to offer love, but holding their tongue or holding back announcements, or without peace due to verbal abuse or the silent treatment. There's no peace between a Cancer and a Libra, or a bold move to travel, or move ascending to justice, truth, and balance to get to the bottom of it, emergently or rushing to court late, so somebody might be late for their court date, or Libra emergently taken to hospital or someone emergently taken to a Libra. The traveling show trumps the justice system, sticking it to the man, the patriarchy. So definitely Trump was coming up here. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Okay? So the King of Cups and the Knight of Swords reversed is coming up here. I'm sorry, they're both Knights. Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Cups was upright, and the Knight of Swords reversed. These two can be those dogs who let the dogs out. Alright, so kids who might be into some trouble, or could be younger adults as well. Or a Knight of Swords is in trouble, but the Knight of Cups is off the hook. So somebody literally may have let their dogs out, and one kid got in trouble and one didn't. Or they could be construed as the dogs, you know, looking for trouble out in the town. And they could even be older people, just representing that feeling of action and just being out with, you know, two guys out on the town. You get the idea. They don't have to be guys, though. It could be girls as well, and it could be kids. So, this could also be the Knight of Swords in trouble, but the Knight of Cups may have gotten off the hook. Definitely the signs of Virgo, Libra, Leo, Cancer, and Three's Company at work. So in Three's Company, the show, it was a girl and two guys, so it could be roommates as well. But this is coming up as Three's Company in all different situations. Three's Company at work, at home, without peace, in a man's world. Libra's big family falls to pieces in a good way. Or justice for family legacy after no peace due to wearing a mask. A hermit, two queens, two knights, and a child of the justice system begins to remove their mask. Alright, so this Page of Wands is reversed, but they're coming out from hiding. They're starting to remove their mask, and it's all about this underlying energy of what came first was playfulness, and then on top was new love. Okay, so there's a lot of sticky energy around this read, but the underlying energies are very pure and beautiful. There's the new love and playfulness, and the other romance angel cards were very beautiful as well. As well as the compassion, there's also domestic harmony and creativity. So maybe getting creative in how to get to that harmony place at home. So if you're dealing with a breakup and kids are being unruly, as they may be going out on the town here, but you get the gist of the energy here. As we turn the page, it's 1229, and 29 is the Three of Wands of being present, or waiting for your ship to come in, only to find that you're waiting for nothing, because there's nothing out there. And 12 is the hangman, you know, hanging in limbo, waiting. Gemini and Limino. See, I don't know what's coming through me. Maybe I'm going to start light language or something, but Gemini and Leo are out being seen, the divine masculine putting up a good front, seen only with one sexy babe, as Leo tackles the boar behind the scenes in a nightmare of hidden third-party truth off to the side to try to find peace in suffering. The harsh truth laid out on the table of sex, lies, and videotapes for some, rehab, surgery, pincushion, so someone might have medical issues, but it also could be a drug issue, scissors and cord cut. Okay, so that could reference to cord cutting, but also to a baby's cord cut. Also handcuffs come up, so that could be police or sexual or whatever. Also healing can only begin when the truth is finally told. There's no peace until then with all this crap out there that people hide. And this doesn't have to be directly divine masculine. It can be his karmic, it can be family around him or friends, whatever he's dealing with. Dungeons and Dragons and the girl down by the riverside, or creek, handcuffed by nurse in a MASH unit. Someone may have been role-playing or forced into things they didn't want to do. Leo or ego, doing things by force, while the divine masculine is seen out with kids to keep the persona clean. Or teens out of control, Gemini and Leo with a black cat messing around in the basement or out back, mimicking parents' behavior at best, possibly a torture chamber or someone in the porn industry, or a divine masculine father may also be or have been a gigolo, addicted to sex, or desperate for money or IV drug use. Or someone rushed to the hospital doing something embarrassing, so if they're experimenting sexually or whatever it is, and then possibly a couple bored and no love in the relationship trying to spice it up, but it's just not working. So this could be all different scenarios. Obviously these things are not for everyone, and it doesn't have to be directly the masculine or the karmic. It could be someone that's around them as well. It could be kids, or friends or family, but they are involved in the situation. So patience came up, which is number 2 as the underlying energy for the masculine, and beneath that was spirituality of 77, 2 being the high priestess and 77 being the 9 of pentacles, the sovereign in their psychic abilities. Or couples at home watching porn or movies of war, love gone wrong, psychopaths, American Gigolo, or cosmetic surgery shows, self-love, spiritual love, new love, with the eye on the prize, the Holy Grail. Major manipulators are out there with the Magician reversed and the Empress reversed. Someone is definitely in prison. Literally, could be the Empress reversed, Magician reversed, and or Page of Wands reversed, or Emperor's inner child is a ward of the justice system. Mother may have taught him lack and a mental prison, anxiety, and father may have taught some of the masculines to manipulate, especially feminines, sexually to win the prize, the Holy Grail. Could be a miscarriage or an abortion here, or circumstances around the pregnancy and or death that's not clear. Could have been pregnancy to imprison the emperor, or the emperor is not the father, or abortion without telling the emperor about it. As we turn the page, it's 1259. 59 is the 5 of swords. So there's definitely enemy territory here, with the 12 of the hangman, which could be someone hung out to dry. The underlying energies that came up here were Aries upright, Libra upright, Taurus both upright and reversed. Virgo, it could be Virgo's more Gemini energy, but upright and reversed as well. Leo upright, Pisces upright, and Cancer upright. This is all the underlying energy only. But as we turn the page, in this situation that I just described, specifically we're coming up Taurus, Aries, Libra, Virgo, and Gemini. A child or pregnant woman may have fallen down the stairs, tripped on a star, a sun, or a judge forced to step down from their position. A child or emperor who acts like an imp may take the fall for a backdoor policy, or a man in a dress goes through sex change surgery, no longer a boy. Justice rings for her now. Or a blind child falls on deaf ears, or a Jewish child unable to pray in school. Many are brought to justice at this time, and Spirit's connecting with me as the emperor makes sure of it. So there's a masculine emperor here who is stepping up for the rights of the feminine within all of us. A sex trafficking ring also comes down here. Spirit's really connecting with me on that one. Aries and Libra upright, Taurus and Gemini, or possibly Virgo, were coming up reversed in those energies. Now, in the read, the Empress comes up twice. Once reversed, which was really negative with the Magician reversed, and I think she's definitely separate from the Empress that came in upright, also in the underlying energies. So there's definitely 2 different Empresses here, whether that represents 2 mothers, or it could be 2 sides of one person. They could have an alter ego. It also could be a divine feminine and a karmic, representing 2 different people, or even just a karmic and a mother. Okay, but they would usually show that by separating the ages, however you see that. But that Empress reverse came up in that last section of the underlying energy, and the Empress upright comes up in the recent past of the read. Justice for the Page of Wands reversed, the masked boy, right, who's reversed because not of his own fault. He was still a little boy when all this happened. Definitely could be someone who was raised without their parents. A lot of different scenarios for this masked boy with a burning desire inside, right? The Justice for the Page of Wands reversed, their family without peace. New love in the harsh truth, in need of patience and spirituality. The Page of Wands, uninspired, frustrated, or out of control, may be having tantrums, or got hurt, or is a lost child, or in a bad place physically, could have been kidnapped, or just with bad people, or really scary kind of parents. or got in trouble due to manipulative mother, grandmother, or boss forcing them into immoral or illegal behaviors that they didn't want to participate in but were kind of forced to, especially as a younger person who may not know better or may feel intimidated into the situation. And as I finished that sentence, it was 117, and a car sped north, confirming that. And 17 again is that star, that Aquarius issue. Recently here, and don't forget the shadow side of Aquarius, the star reversed, is depression issues and loss of hope. Recently here is the Divine Feminine's Heart. So in this deck, the Sirian Starseed deck, for me, this is the Divine Feminine's Heart, the E-Tower, right? Who's finally letting people in. But it also can be that reaping your rewards, hanging out and waiting around. You may not be waiting, it just could be reaping. But as the Divine Feminine's Heart, it was coming up as disconnected, hanging in limbo, unsatisfied, as the Empress upright with the King of Swords reversed above her, or etherically, or the masculine negative self-talk within her or outside of her, or just the Empress is in a good place even though there's lots of negative people around her. And if this isn't the Divine Feminine energy, it could just be the masculine reaping the rewards and finally not working so much, which would be a good thing. But it's really coming more around this the Page of Wands reversed, which could be the masculine's inner child, or it could actually be someone's child, all right, who can't find peace. So it could be a child who has issues as well. It could be ADHD, it could be autism, or anything like that. It could be just kids on the spectrum who are just struggling. Taurus and Libra may be in court with like a killer attorney, like who's that King of Swords reversed, feeding the Empress negativity to get a bunch of negative people to join her cause against a powerful Libra or justice or judge whose weak spot is the kids. Or the King of Swords reversed Libra is unable to reap rewards due to mother or karmic taking a stand against him, or taking a stand against the Divine Feminine, so he won't be able to find peace with her. So people getting in the way. Could be a family dependent on a Libra and or Virgo, refusing to allow him to reap his rewards so they can sponge off of him. Or her, depending on who's coming up more as the masculine. So we turn the page, it's 127, and 27 is the Ace of Wands. And the 1, of course, is the Magician. And the Magician came up reversed twice in this read. So there's some definitely scary kind of manipulative energies around you guys. So just stand in your truth and don't feed into any of that. The foundation here is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay? And this can be anyone, and the foundation for the masculine. It's just an earth sign, which would typically be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But she's coming up either in a mental prison or anxiety, could be a physical prison as well, about truth breaking through, about imbalance, inequity, or debts owed or paid. Or the Queen of Pentacles in prison for truth out about a scam, money stolen, and not repaid to or by family or new love. Or worried her new love's family may be imbalanced or have bad intentions toward her or want to hurt her or scam her. Okay? Or possibly hurt her family as well. So that, like I said, the Queen of Pentacles could be anyone. It could be Divine Feminine, it could be a karmic, it could be a sister, mother, friend, whoever around the masculine, however it fits your situation. So in the feminine's life as well. But centrally there, for this read, is the Seven of Cups, which can be synchronicities, but it also can be the steps that you need to take to ascend. Okay? Heaven in their eyes, taking the steps to twin happiness, to exposure, to full exposure, to the sun, to sunshine, out of control, which means then out of ego, which is a good thing. And this is why the Emperor needs to fall. Because the Emperor's in control, and when the Emperor's reversed, he's out of control, which is where we need to get him so that he comes out more out of his ego. But it's coming up, it can be the masculine or the feminine, because the Emperor reverse could just represent either one out of control. But also coming up is out of this world and no longer needing validation. Challenged by grounding and integrating that mastering of emotional waters, naked and exposed, kids, happiness, high energy, and sometimes high energy can be too high, because that means excitability, that's also an extreme energy that needs to be pulled in. The Leo playing ball or holding up a new life, letting go to fix up. Both the Queen of Pentacles and Emperor could be choosing the path of the Sun to help fix things, to expose everything, patch things up. The Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Wands come together, both upright, to talk and expose all. And then I was getting expose, right? And then right as I wrote that, the cops with their sirens on went down my street and stopped a car a few houses down from me, and that was at 139, which is that Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is coming together here. The Knight of Cups was the knights in the underlying energy, because here is the Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. That Knight of Cups was upright, but dealing with a Knight of Swords. So being that the cops just stopped someone, those two knights who were out together, who could have been kids, might have gotten stopped because of the Knight of Swords, not because of the Knight of Cups, but they may have gotten pulled in, so there may be an innocent. And I know of a situation specifically recently where two kids did both get arrested because they were set up by somebody else, and it was because of the one person's relationship, but the other one got pulled into jail as well, who had done nothing. So this is definitely coming up for some people. The Knight of Pentacles willing to let go, expose all and invest in being free and more childlike. The Knight of Wands, more passionate and physical, suddenly rushes in to expose all, but holding back money to see how it goes, or to magnetize a move first, or save and plan and take care of the details of this new life before moving ahead. Okay, so the challenge being that Four of Cups, being an island unto yourself and needing to work things out, master, ground and integrate first before moving on. So now crowning the read is that messenger of truth, the Knight of Swords, sending 5D messages. Okay, see the bubble here, that's why I love this deck. I'm losing my voice, so it's really someone needs to speak their truth. And if they are still sending messages in 5D and I'm losing my voice, it's about them, that's okay and that's good, but they also need to come forward in the 3D reality as well now. They need to speak their truth. Breaking patterns of deception or tripping up, which is a good thing because that allows them to lose control. So the masculine could be carrying too much weight for the kids who are now maybe grown up and sovereign and or spoiled. Possibly a princess, but behaving badly or behaving like a player sexually, never following through or holding back passions, or they could be disrespecting him. And it doesn't have to be young children. It could just be people younger than the masculine who are, just rushing it every which way and disrespecting him. Or the Knight of Swords confesses deception to their children about a miscarriage and or abortion, or kids come clear to mother about the same. Or a Leo or ego announcement about ending their burdens, or a confession and now over the loss, or saddened in exposure of their choice, this Leo feminine, of a lover or the twin situation potentially. This Leo over the loss, it's probably a Leo feminine, but doesn't have to be. But it's more feminine energy there for sure. All right, so either the kids are coming clean to this Leo mother, or she's coming clean to the kids. But like I said, both miscarriage and abortion were coming up here. Or it also can have to do with a poor choice one of them made about a lover, so someone else might have had an affair, or could be about the twin situation as well. Leo may be over this loss now. Gemini and or Virgo are coming up as the Knight of Pentacles, and Sagittarius, Leo, or Scorpio is coming up as the Knight of Wands. Or it could be a combination, all right? So it's the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is the one who needs to speak their truth. The Sag, Leo, or Scorpio, a combination of any of those, can be whatever, sun, moon, rising, can be Mars and Leo as well. Controlling, trying to keep people quiet, all right? The Sag, Leo, Scorpio energy is trying to keep people quiet, but now presently exposed, so they were scared to get exposed. And this Knight of Pentacles is trying to make peace and offer them help. Or they're just happy to feel the sun, okay? They need to speak their truth, though. I was having a lot of trouble getting that out. Soon is the Ten of Orbs, an end to pain and burdens, present to nothing, and keeping silent about the 5D. All right. So this is that near future card, is that Ten of Orbs or Ten of Swords. Okay. It could be back pain, betrayal, and pain, or at the end of pain. Okay. Or that the worst is now over. The Leo is over loss, coming up with that card. Gemini or Virgo, like I said, we're coming up as that Knight of Pentacles, and Sag, Scorpio, Leo is that Knight of Wands, controlling and trying to keep people quiet, but presently now exposed. With this Ten of Orbs comes an end to the pain and or burdens. That's the, I was getting, definitely could be the karmic, but it could be anyone. Present to nothing, like realizing they're waiting for nothing, and have been keeping silent about the fifth dimension, so it could be the feminine or the masculine. But the divine masculine is seeing himself as that star, dumping attachments and grounding and integrating source love, but may feel like dying. So there may be, it could be upright and reversed as well, this star card. It may feel like dying at times, or just some depression or loss of hope that he can complete his mission or transformation. And as we turn the page, it's 155. 155 and 55 is the Ace of Swords, the truth, coming out with the one of the Magician, which was really negative energy here. So the Magician may be the one who's getting called out. True love comes up for the masculine, that this is a romance of a lifetime, as well as trust, which is the surrender. It's all about faith and trust and patience. Where the masculine is seeing himself and the environment around him were both coming up as Scorpio reversed energies, okay? So that would definitely make the masculine depressed, but this is also around him in a different person. So two Scorpios with their stingers, that's not a good combination. But around him is the Ace of Cups. So that could also be reversed and upright. But there is definitely self-love, spiritual love, and new love in the aftermath of holding the world in his right hand and choosing the left path, or the feminine. In wake of loss of status and money, and the harsh truth coming out between them, whether this is between the masculine and his karmic, or the masculine and the feminine. The masculine needs to clear blocks about the King of Pentacles, and this King of Pentacles coming up at reverse, which could be greed, or it could be just not grounded, or it could be having lost a lot of money and status. But it's also coming up in this deck. Well, this is a star that the masculine sees himself as. Around him is the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Chalices, and then we have what he's clearing as that King of Pentacles, or the Master of Crystals, the Crystal Skull, Akashic Records in this deck. Or what shape diamond to get. So someone may be picking out rings here. Or lovers coming up here, or a Gemini, not both. The lovers can be anyone, but the card is coming out either lovers or specifically a Gemini purging, stressed about the Queen of Wands reversed, or that is her. All right. So she can definitely be coming up here purging and crying her eyes out, the Queen of Wands reversed, and that the masculine needs to clear any blocks about this that she may be manipulating, or it could be her pissed because the lovers are purging that are separate from her. Compassion comes up for whoever it is, and then even more so domestic harmony and creativity for the masculine. Imbalance of justice, or Libra, or 2 spoons of sugar, or rather fruit, or Libra trying to help or get someone to eat healthy or to take their medicine, but other person refuses due to depression or alcohol or issues with balance, who refuses to share. The last 2 cards in the read here, the end of the read, and then the card after the read, is the Six of Wands of attention and good news and success and leading the way. And then we have the Knight of Wands here, all right? The very passionate man with a flame. So there's attention brought to a heated exchange or expression of passionate feelings about standing in their truth no matter who walks away. Allowing self to fall, and that's okay, to become inspired. They realize once they get up, that's where the inspiration comes from. suddenly present to emotional fulfillment and inspiration. There may be a Leo present, or their ego, with the Knight of Cups expressing and receiving love, and wounded warrior inspired now to tell the truth, even when he falls. He can only be the victim if he allows them to victimize him. Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, wounded warrior comes up here, no longer needs outside validation and attention to come clean about passion for flame. Workplace, school, church, or creative place of coming together to create and learn, to study, examine, be still, and not work hard, and reaping the present moment. The King of Wands is on top, seeing the whole picture now. A divine masculine may have lost a family's home in a divorce, or home issues, unstable, due to the High Priestess and Magician both reversed and together. Could be an evil couple, now with judgment final, so they've been judged, so there may be a court decision finally came down, or just a lot of people doing dark things are coming down at this time, or just general ignorance and manipulation, insecurities, judged and announced, or just in general, everyone's secrets are coming out. The Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords reversed can be two people, one mother and child, could also be one person acting like a child, because they're both reversed. Separation or heartbreak, or she's not working or refusing to work, a child with frustration issues, and that could be her, manipulative and, being whiny and emotional, trying to get her way all the time and throwing a temper tantrum if she doesn't, blocking self to healing. So this could also be the struggles of a mother with a difficult child who may have legitimate issues. Or this is all Aquarius, Queen of Cups reversed, manipulative child refusing to work with creative block and or sexually frustrated or just mad and pissed off and wants everyone else to have to feel it too. So I turn the page and it's 217. So again we have the 17, the Aquarius energy, the star of shining your light and dreaming and healing, but also losing faith, right? Loss of hope and depression issues with the High Priestess here. The Page of Wands seeking peace with the Queen of Pentacles, possible dream girl, or Scorpio Aquarius with new love, divine feminine, taking steps to ground and integrate, ending pain, with the King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, which can be announcements or just him coming in quickly to speak, sending the divine feminine 5D messages in order to get her attention, as the Knight of Wands is coming clean to talk about it. So he maybe want to make quick messages to see what kind of place she's in the 5D, and then rushing in physically to actually come clean and talk about it. So there's piece of the divine feminine who may feel uninspired at the moment, the Queen of Pentacles with synchronicities and steps to take in order to ground and integrate the 5D messages she may be receiving, healing and dreaming and sharing light to end pain with love of the King of Pentacles, and good news from the divine masculine, Knight of Wands. And the masculine and feminine can be both, they can be interchangeable with the knights, and they could just be actions as well. Yeah, but definitely that energy coming up. It was funny, I think it was yesterday or the day before when I did the read, there were no knights in the read, so there's no action, and here it's all about the knights all over the place. And there's definitely shaman energy coming up here, because I actually talked to a shaman today. And I wanted to bring up this too. Another wound that may come up for you guys is people with a certain name. So there may be people with a certain name that carried a certain family trait that you have a prejudice towards because of that wound and that trait within your family and attached to a certain name. So you might want to think about that, because that definitely came up for me. And it could have to do with Sagittarius and Georges. So let me know what you think. Okay? So I'm going to do the oracle cards as well, but let me show you the pictures you need for this read, and then I'm going to get on to that one. So this was the basic. It's just 44, 13, and 14. And 44 is that mastering energy, grounding and integrating of the Four of Cups. All right, so that's the basic read. And then we had, this wasn't in the same order, the full read here for the Divine Masculine today. Okay. And I'm going to get on to, so the 44 is the mastering, and then that 13 and 14 is, allowing the transformation to happen as we get to 4444. And then the 14 of the angels. So allow the full transformation to happen so you can come into your power as patient and balanced angel on earth. Okay? Rise and be loved.